Scott Pilgrim was released in 2010 and is directed by Edgar Wright. And it stars Michael Cera as bass player Scott Pilgrim, who falls in love with Ramona Flowers, who's portrayed by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And in order to be with her, he must have to fight her 7 evil exes. This cast was stacked. Dude.
Stacked to the brim, son.
I don't remember it being this stacked.
Really? You don't?
I don't. Anna Kendrick, Chris Evans, the Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Oh, yeah.
He's in it too.
Aubrey Plaza's in it too.
They're all young in this film too.
They
right?
are. They're all younger actors.
Are you a fan of Edgar Wright's films?
I love them, dude. Shaun of the Dead. I love Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite movies. One of the best movies of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah. Especially that when it has to deal with like the comedy.
Yes.
Especially one of those zombie films that really balances both the horror elements and the comedy elements as well.
Yeah, dude.
Shaun
of the Dead. World's End is a good one. Where they go around either a bar. Hot Fuzz, dude. Hot Fuzz is freaking hilarious.
I even like Baby Driver. Baby Driver.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I never saw it.
Dude, but when it comes to Scott Pilgrim, and I think it's Edgar Wright's best film, I didn't watch this movie when it first came out.
Really?
Matter of fact, my brother had rented it from Blockbuster, and they put it on, right? And I fell asleep within the first 5 to 10 minutes, and I never watched this film again until 2 years ago. I tried to give it a shot again, and no, that's a lie. Probably 3 or 4 years ago. But I was really crossfaded. And it was within the 10-minute to 15-minute range where I was like, nope, I'm not doing this.
Really?
It was a mind fuck.
This is one of those movies where this is one of the few movies where I can say I don't remember ever the first time watching it.
Yeah.
But I do remember loving it. That's one thing I do remember is actually loving the movie.
Yeah, I think the first actual time I watched it, I really loved it.
Dude, it's great.
It's an experience, man. But I always felt like this film always embodied that unique blend of the best of the late 2000s and the teenage years in general.
Oh yeah,
and all the pop culture genre blending is all in here. You got anime, you got fighting games. You got romantic dramas. The genres in this film go on and on. There's a lot of layers to it, and it's really good. It even has that comic book style to it too, which I think this is based off of the graphic novel. It had a graphic novel series.
Did it?
Yeah, it was a 7-volume series or something like that. But I know the ending of it. The ending in this film was written by the director and the writers, because the writer of the books didn't get the ending done before the film came out.
Really?
So the comic book ending actually came out after the film. So the ending we see in the film is an original ending. It's different from the comics. But
it's nice.
I think it's epic. It's really good.
Oh, dude, this movie's tight.
We'll talk about it in a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, this movie's tied up real good with the impressive visual effects. Everything from the video game style, like you mentioned, the comic book style, anime, all that kind of stuff. It blends in really well with each other. When they're jumping up and down, you see the sparks, the graphics, everything. Dude, it's so cool. The
static choices for the transitions.
Yes, they're so cool.
The fade in, fade out, fade to black, the dream sequences. I think everything that we see visually, that's visually appealing to the eyes through Scott Pilgrim's perspective, and it's just the world that they live in.
It's very interesting, especially when it comes to the dialogue between characters. It's not something you see all the time in film or even in comics, and it's witty. It's fast paced too. The movie's very fast paced. Yeah. It really is, but watching it doesn't feel like it's pushing towards you. It's not pushing on you. It's a very smooth transition from the start of the film to the end. It doesn't skip a beat. It doesn't overstay its welcome with some scenes. There's some fight scenes, the music scenes too, when the band's playing.
Speaking of that, the
soundtrack is amazing, dude. Really everything, dude. It's so cool.
It's truly innovative and so satisfying on many levels.
Yeah.
And it toes the line between cheesy and cool so well. And like even when it has like those cheesy moments, it's like a wink to the audience almost, leading us to the epic payoff that we see at the end with that epic battle that they have going on.
Dude.
And the final battle actually feels like a final battle.
It really does.
Through a video game where you have to beat in order to get there. But
it's always that final boss, man. Right? It's always that final boss.
And it's also a shame that this film wasn't a success financially.
Oh, was it?
Actually, it was a bomb at the box office when it came out. It didn't make that much money.
It's gained a pretty good sized cult following.
Yeah.
From what I've seen on the internet,
I didn't know how divisive this film actually is. There's actually some people that hate it, and there's a lot of people who love it.
Yeah.
But I think it's really good. I really love this film. It has style to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going for it.
It does. And going back to the music, like it really like fits in with the narrative of the movie. Yeah. You know, every song that they play, even the band themselves, while they're playing songs, it fits with each character. All the, you know, which each one. Who was the drummer? I'm trying to remember her name. I can't remember her name. She fucking killed on the drums, dude. Yeah. And the whole band themselves were freaking killing it in this movie.
The opening title sequence goes hard.
Yes.
And the camera pushes back.
Yes.
And we just see
reviews everything.
Room, and then it cuts the titles. It's so sick. And Michael Cera as Scott Pilgrim is awesome.
I like Michael Cera.
Like, huh?
He was good in Juno, and Scott Pilgrim. He was good. It was pretty. The few scenes he had in This Is the End, they were pretty funny too.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Very underrated.
He's not exactly the most likable character at first, but like I mean, what I've heard from those comics is that Scott Pilgrim's a very like complex character, and so like he's very undecisive with things and just is complicated in general. Is what I've heard, but
oh man, it's good. It visually and with the soundtrack, everything like that, writing, I think everything's like top notch.
Oh, for sure.
I honestly can't find a fault in this movie. I really can't. I watched it twice. I watched it once at work, and I watched it half today, and I didn't get to finish it because I was pretty busy today. But
the film is actually really funny too.
Dude, it's hilarious.
I think one of the funniest parts, and this scene had me cracking up a bit, it was when Scott is at the party.
Yeah.
And he's going around asking people like if they know who he wants to know more about Ramona.
Yeah.
And then he shows that picture to that guy. It's like a scribble.
You know this one girl with hair like this?
Yes, that's Ramona Flowers. Somebody said she was going to be here tonight, actually.
What?
I like the scene. I really like when she's standing there and he just slides and he comes into frame. he tries talking to her. It's so.
He has a cup all crushed up. He stalked her and stalked her until she left. Yeah.
I love the band scene where they're playing music and he brings his girlfriend over and she's like super memorized by the music.
She's geeking.
How old was she in the movie? Wasn't she underage?
Yeah, she was like 17.
Yeah, she was. He was like what, 20 something?
He was like 23, I think. They were all in their early 20s. But as I was digging a little deeper into the film, I felt like it was like almost like getting over relationships, carrying that baggage part, heartbreak, and all that kind of situation that goes on during your teen years, basically what a lot of people go through.
Yeah.
But that's what I got from one of the themes of the film. But while also being perfectly directed film by Edgar Wright, which I think this is his best film. This movie was directed so well.
It's so good.
Especially with, I think what makes this film so rewatchable is those comedy elements to it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when Scott jumps out of the window, when she's
asking for
him.
You see him in the background. He has a door slightly open.
It's those things like that are so funny.
Yeah.
Or
and it's Edgar Wright's style of filming with the quick cuts and the constant, the fast paced, time changing and all that kind of stuff that he does, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, the visual direction and style is incredibly like unique, and it's impossible to go unnoticed because
it really is.
This movie is truly like unique when it comes to that kind of style of directing, because not many comic book films or like even video game films can pull that off really. Like, to the extent that this film does, or the way this film accomplished it. Because the way this film executed it, I thought it was executed really good.
There's only so little things you can do with the camera, but I think Edgar Wright, I don't know how he does it, but he finds a way to just do the impossible with camera work.
And that goes back to what I was saying about how he like blended all these genres together.
Yeah.
You got mashed up video games, comic books, anime, rock and roll, indie bands, like, and you got that, speaking of that, you got that sequence with those bands, like there's like a CGI battle going on. Oh yes. It's the bit like just the visuals in general.
Yeah, the film soundtrack deserves a special mention. Like just all that on its own it's its own movie and it's super cool.
You get introduced to Brie Larson's character Envy, and then she kills it as on that cover of Black Sheep.
Yeah,
she killed it. I don't know. I actually prefer that version of the song over the original. But and then you get into this scene was so good. Is when Chris Evans comes out.
Dude, Chris,
as an actor. He's so funny in this movie. I love him in this movie. He's so funny.
He's not my favorite actor of all time, but he does have his moments. He really does. As Captain America, he was good at Knives Out.
Really good.
He was really funny in this movie, surprisingly too.
I even love the way he went out. The fucking crying. He fucking explodes. I don't think about the editing. It's very quick. Quick cuts, the cutouts, and all that stuff. The transitions to the next scene or a different location.
And like I said earlier, like it fits. It doesn't feel like it's quick. It's quick, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Man, Michael Cera was good, man. He was really good in Superbad too. I really like Superbad.
We gotta talk about Superbad.
Superbad's one of those movies where it's good for its time, but it came out in a time where it was all romantic comedies made by the same people, like Seth Rogen, Judd Apatow, and all those guys.
Yeah, it wasn't until like the first Evil X where I knew what I was getting into.
Mr. Pilgrim, it is I, Matthew Patel.
And I love how each one brings something different to the table too. Right? They're not all the same baddies, that you see. They all have their own like specific things that Scott that he learns throughout the movie to all these different skills and everything. It's so cool, man.
He's leveling up.
He really is. Yeah, he is. He is. Oh man.
Oh, I have to talk about this scene because it's one of the funniest moments in the film is when we're introduced to Brandon Routh's character, the vegan.
Oh, yes.
And there's a scene in the movie where he punches knives.
I've kissed the lips that kissed you!
Knives!
What? I'm not afraid to hit a girl. I'm a rock star.
Oh my god. You punched the highlights out of her hair. He punched the highlights out of her hair!
You really knocked the blue out of her hair. That's just so funny. And then you just overpower. And the vegan police come when he drinks that half.
That's so stupid.
Like, where's vegan police?
That's so stupid.
That's another thing is the randomness.
And like I said, the writing is just
clever.
Off the top, phenomenal, dude.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead was also good in this film as Ramona Flowers.
Yeah.
Just like her humor. Like, she really brings a charm to her character.
Dude.
Film. She's funny herself also, but like, I feel like also like, if I were to talk about one of the negatives in this film, I would say like, Envy, Brie Larson's character, just kind of like dissolves out of thin air. Like, she never, after her scenes with the vegan guy,
she just fades off.
Yeah, she disappears. That plot line has disappeared. You never know where she is. But that's a small negative. We really didn't need it.
But there's so much you can do with different plot lines happening at the same time.
Yeah, I know they're bringing the cast back for an animated series that's coming out on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be nice, dude.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be good.
It'll be interesting because I know a few characters died. Like Chris Evans, that they're going to bring him back.
Right. That's why I was curious, like, what are they going to do with it? But
yeah, man. But this movie, I don't know. It changed my mind on how I view over the top movies, not just superhero movies, because this can kind of be considered like a not a superhero movie, but more of like a super movie. You know, the character has this insane like power and plot armor.
I put it under comic book video game.
Comic book video games,
Comic book video game.
like Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat kind of shit.
Yeah.
Stuff.
At first, I
Stuff. I'm sorry.
At first, I thought this was a whole original film until I actually looked into it.
Yeah,
I had no idea about the graphic novel and all that stuff, but I think that's interesting. I maybe have to check those out.
There's only a few like movies and TV shows out there that really translate good into movie and TV from graphic novel or just novels.
Yeah,
There's
there's very few that actually pulled it off. Too.
Like Game of Thrones kind of did it good. Walking Dead did it really good, I think. Scott Pilgrim did it good.
Yeah.
I think movies and TV shows like that really deserve their own ranking system, you know.
Yeah. But then we get to the final act of the film, where the final battle where he gets the sword.
Oh,
so
dude.
epic, dude!
It's so, and I love the visual effects of the coins and everything flying.
Oh yeah, or like when their bodies vaporize,
Yes.
turning into coins, like the final shot.
Yeah.
The KO that he does to
So cool.
the final boss. What's his name? I forget.
K.O. Dude, I was quoting that shit all day the other day. I went to the trucker's cave and I got his paperwork and I'm writing and I'm like, K.O. Like that when I'm done. Yes. No, but I said it out loud. I don't even know why I said it. Just stuck with me, man. It's so cool. But yeah, man, it's such, I don't know, man. It's a movie that changed movies for me, man. Like it changed a lot especially how I view movies. Because at the time seeing this, I've never seen anything like it.
This is one of those rewatchable films that is just a lot of fun. You can put it on any time of the year.
This is something you can watch with like friends and family.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's really funny and
it's hilarious.
It's a film for anybody, but I recommend anybody, even if you've never seen the film, I definitely recommend you check it out.
Yeah,
because it's truly unique, especially when both going into the filmmaking and how the way it pays homage to the source material, like everything.
I gotta read the comic, man. I really do.
Yeah, it really gave me interest with it. Directing, the acting, the comedy, the transitions,
Everything,
the
man.
score, the characters, like all around, like it was just a really well made movie.
Everything was top notch, and you can tell they really enjoyed making this movie too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I love the randomness, I love the wackiness. I love the cheesiness.
Those random background things that happen that Edgar Wright really likes doing.
Yeah.
Or those small details that come back later in the movie. Like something happens here, then all of a sudden it happens again, but it's noticeable and it's awesome, man.
So funny. The scene where before the first Evil X comes, they're performing at that Battle of the Bands.
Oh yeah.
But the first band that goes is like they're like what song do they perform? I'm so sad or something like that. It's like 2 words.
I don't have it. I wish I had it. Man.
So funny, dude. Or when he breaks up with knives and like the background just goes black and it's just he just steps out, kind of freeing him from that situation that he put her in. But like
one thing I really like is they use songs from like The Clash, you know, the band The Clash. Yeah. They also did the music in this movie is just, I love the scenes when the band is actually playing, or even when they're just practicing in their the little room. Dude, I love those where they're just together and it builds like the chemistry between the characters, and it's super believable too because you can tell they actually really like hanging out with each other sometimes.
Yeah,
and you can tell how much Scott really frustrates the others in the room.
And the viewer, too.
Oh, yeah. He was frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
They just chill out, man. Just calm down and just stop stalking people. I'm not... so you know, I've never stalked anybody. But yeah, that's
Scott Pilgrim, 2010. What are you rating it?
I rated it a 4.
4?
A 4.
I'm gonna meet you at a 4.
Really? Dang. Well, Scott Pilgrim, it's a visually stunning, highly entertaining film that it masterfully transforms like graphic novel and cartoon movies. Like, it's something that's never happened. They've tried it, obviously, with other concepts and even genres of cartoons and video games and stuff, but I don't think it's ever been done as good as this.
Yeah, and it also proves that Edgar Wright
is one of the greatest directors of all time.
Proves himself to keep making original genre blended films, and I think he should make a sequel or. Well, they are doing the show, but he could make another film like this.
I wouldn't make a sequel.
No,
I wouldn't.
Well, I wonder what the show's going to be about.
Because he's already completed this what seems like impossible arc of a character, and to put him in another movie to try it again, I don't know. I don't think it makes any sense. It would. I would like to watch a show though, like an animated show. I think like the visual effects of that would be freaking incredible.
I think the animation is very similar to the graphic novel.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the graphic novel, like the
it
art.
It looks like okay. So you know the scene where Ramona's talking about her backstory with her first ex.
Oh yeah.
It kind of has like that kind of style, but not exactly like the color palette. Like
with colors. Different.
With colors.
Oh,
like
okay.
That animation, that drawing style.
I was thinking more of like a Kill Bill animated style, over the top. That would be crazy.
That'd be cool.
But that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what movies you guys would want us to review next.
Yeah. I love reading the comments, man. It's fun. I'm Steven Gomez.
And I'm Matt.
And that was Primetime Flicks.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
And happy November 1st. Or November.
Yeah, stay strong, boys.
Yeah, stay strong, guys.